This left-handed pitching prospect could be exactly what the Red Sox need right this second. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. The Boston Red Sox bullpen this year has been, well, we'll say less than stellar. Well, maybe not the entire year. To start the season, they're one of the better bullpens in the entire league, a top 5, top 10, top 15 bullpen in the sport. But recently, because of what they've been doing over the course of the last couple of months, they've fallen from that status to a bottom 6 bullpen in Major League Baseball. However, doesn't mean that they can't get any better, and right now there is a guy in AAA who could help be a solution to that problem. So what we are going to do in today's video is we're going to break this guy down. We're going to talk about who he is, why he could fit into the Red Sox bullpen, and why the Red Sox may need to call him up basically yesterday. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. The pitching prospect we are talking about today, and the guy that I believe the Red Sox should call up as soon as humanly possible, is pitching prospect Zach Penrod. Now, for those of you who aren't super familiar with who Zach Penrod is, Zach has a really interesting story of how he got to the Red Sox organization. Out of college, he signed with the Texas Rangers and spent some time there in rookie ball before leaving and signing a deal in indie baseball, where he spent a couple of different seasons, and that's where the Red Sox found him. The Red Sox signed him to a deal, a minor league deal, during the 2023 season at 26 years old. And his first impression with the Red Sox was pretty solid. In 2023, he had 4 appearances with the Greenville Drive, where he had a 2.18 ERA and a 4.02 FIP. Pretty solid showing, but this season is where this prospect really started to turn heads in the Red Sox system, because coming in here, he started in Double-A, which through 7 games, Penrod had a 2.80 ERA with about the same FIP at 2.90, but what was really stand out was the fact that he was really starting to miss bats. His strikeout rate jumped to 37% of the batters he faced, and he was walking just 9.1% of the batters. He had really upped his swing and miss ability and was starting to become a name to watch as a potential future player at the big league level for the Boston Red Sox. Because of this, he was pretty quickly moved up to AAA, where he hit a bit of a snag. He had a shin injury that left him off the field for a little bit and really sort of prevented him from pitching or continuing to develop with the Boston Red Sox. But now that he's healthy, he's back in pitching again with this AAA club. Now, on the surface, his AAA numbers aren't exactly fantastic. Through 7 appearances, he has a 6.2 ERA. But, however, the underlying metrics are much better, because if you take a look at his FIP, that FIP is currently sitting at half as many runs as his ERA at 3.22, which means for the most part he's getting really unlucky on the mound. He's pitching much better than his ERA is leading on. On top of that, he's also still missing bats, a 32.1% strikeout rate of the batters he's faced. However, in AAA, that walk rate has increased a little bit, up to 13.1%. Now, part of this could be because the ABS system. It's the first time he's pitched with that ABS system. It could be something that's holding him back, but it's also probably a little bit of something the Red Sox need to work on him with before he can get to the major league level. Recently, though, the Boston Red Sox have made the decision to move Zach Penrod out of the rotation and into the bullpen. Now, for many people's opinions, the reason why they did this is because they do believe that he could be a factor coming into this home stretch here for the Boston Red Sox out of the bullpen, and they could really use a guy like Zach Penrod. Mostly because as a reliever, Penrod could be a really interesting addition to this Red Sox bullpen. In his first couple outings as a reliever for the Worcester Red Sox, a couple of things really stood out. The first was he was really lighting up the radar gun. He was up to about 97 miles an hour on his fastball, and his changeup and slider really worked well to miss bats in his first couple appearances out of the bullpen. Both of those are things that he has really excelled at this season, is getting swing and misses on his off-speed pitches, but with the fastball playing up the way it is, he could end up being a really deadly arm for this Sox team come the last couple of weeks of the season. In fact, Kyle Teel played his first game at the AAA level last night. It didn't go super well for him at the plate, but behind the plate, he came out of that game, and one of the first things he said was that Zach Penrod has an absolutely elite fastball and changeup combination. That could be a whole lot of fun at the major league level, and it could also serve a really important role, because right now, the Red Sox don't exactly have a surefire high-leverage lefty in this bullpen. Cam Boozer, overall this season, has done a pretty good job as a high-leverage reliever, but he doesn't have a ton of opportunities, and recently, it hasn't been going super well. We can look back at yesterday yesterday's game. We can look back at the game against the Houston Astros where he gave up a pretty quickly couple of runs here to basically put the game on ice. Brendan Bernardino had been your high leverage left-handed reliever for a very long period of time here this season, but over the last couple of weeks, he has basically completely lost it to the point where the Red Sox had to option him down to AAA, and Bailey Horn has had some big moments in a Red Sox uniform and looks like he could possibly be someone who could be a high leverage left-handed arm throughout the rest of the season, but at the same time too, he's been very up and down. The Red Sox just simply have not found a solution to their left-handed high leverage problem. Zach Penrod could end up being that solution. On top of that, he could be more than just a high leverage lefty. Because of the fact that he was starting games both at AA and AAA this season, he is stretched out a bit. It's nothing super crazy, and over his 7 appearances with the Worcester Red Sox, at least the 5 games that he was starting, his starts mainly averaged around 2, 3, or 4 innings. But still, if the Red Sox are looking for a guy who can get them from the starter to the better high leverage, more proven high leverage arms, Zach Penrod could end up being that person, and that could end up serving a really big role for this Red Sox team. I apologize for the interruption here, but if you're enjoying this video, do me a favor. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just helps these videos out a ton. It's the best way you can let me know you're enjoying the content we are putting out. Again, I apologize for the interruption. Thank you for taking a second and doing so. Let's get back to the video. If we want to break it down even into a more general sense here, outside of a specific role that Zach Penrod could fill, the Red Sox bullpen just simply needs all the help it can get right now, because as a pitching staff in total, including the starting rotation, if you take a look at the last month of games for the Boston Red Sox, they have allowed less than 4 runs just 4 singular times. And it's been a while since they've done it. The last time the Red Sox held a team to 4 or less runs was all the way back on August 4th, basically 2 weeks ago, where they beat the Texas Rangers 7-2. Before that, the last time the Red Sox had allowed less than 4 runs in a game was July 31st against Seattle, July 23rd against Colorado, and then July 13th against the Colorado Rockies. And it's really not a secret that they won every single one of those games. It has been a while here since the Red Sox have consistently won low-scoring baseball games, and that's a really big issue. If the Red Sox want to push into October and end up finishing this season in a playoff spot, they're going to have to find a way to win low-scoring baseball games. You can't rely on your offense to score 7, 8, 6 runs every single game, because at the end of the day, that's just simply not sustainable. We've seen how this offense can get stumped by really good pitching. It happens. It's baseball. There are good pitchers in Major League Baseball that are going to be able to get this offense out. And if you can't find a way to still win those baseball games, well, probably the difference between the postseason and going home in September. And I would much rather have the Red Sox in the postseason than I would in September. Now, there is one thing I wanted to mention with Zach that could possibly prevent him from being called up in the next couple of days, and that is the fact that I would assume the Red Sox want to see a bit of a bigger sample size for Zach Penrod out of the bullpen, just simply to make sure he's comfortable in that role. He only has 2 appearances out of the bullpen for the Worcester Red Sox so far this season, and of those 2 appearances, it's been 2 total innings. He's pitched 1 inning in each appearance he's been out of, so the Red Sox may end up trying to wait a little bit in order to make sure that he's fully comfortable in that role. My problem with that is that the Red Sox are simply running out of time here, right? They don't have the luxury of giving this guy a month and a half to really settle into a bullpen position. They have 43 games to decide the fate of the 2024 Red Sox, and if Zach Penrod is the guy that you believe is going to help this bullpen get to a point where they can start closing out some close games, he should be on a bus to Fenway tomorrow. Look, at the end of the day, I don't know if Zach Penrod's the solution to the Red Sox. I don't know if this is the guy that's going to come up here and it's going to be like, okay, now we've got our left-handed high leverage arm. We can balance everybody else out. This is how we're going to get from our starters to Kenley without giving up a whole lot of runs. But right now, there's just simply too many games being lost in those middle innings. There's too many times over the last couple of weeks that the Red Sox offense has had to battle their way back into games because of their bullpen giving up a lead. It's been a very long time since I think Red Sox fans and probably the Red Sox themselves have been comfortable turning a game over to their middle relievers, and the Red Sox have to do something about that. We've seen over this week that they are trying to improve the middle of this bullpen. They've called up a couple of guys. They've made some moves over the last couple of days that have tried to switch up the looks that Red Sox bullpen is giving a lot of these hitters, but it simply is not working to the degree that you need it to work at this point in the season. Zach Penrod, in my opinion, is absolutely someone the Red Sox should give a shot to over the next couple of weeks. He has the stuff, in my opinion, to be a really solid reliever for this Red Sox team and someone who could really help them push towards a playoff spot this season, and that's exactly what the Red Sox need right now. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about this? What do you think about the idea of calling up Zach Penrod? Do you think it's something that would help this Red Sox bullpen? Do you think it's not enough to help this Red Sox bullpen? And what do you think his impact on this team could look like? Let me know all your thoughts on this idea in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just helps these videos out a ton, and it's the best way you can let me know you're enjoying the content we are putting out. Don't forget, if you want to listen instead of watch these videos, all you got to do is head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.